You probably saw the name Josh Kushner explode across the internet today. Not because of a new app, not because of a celebrity scandal, because one of the most famous sports teams on earth is reportedly changing hands for $12.5 billion. The team is the Los Angeles Lakers. And the strange part is not just the price. It is how a basketball team became valuable enough to be worth more than entire companies, cities, and industries. To understand why Josh Kushner and Bob Iger are willing to pay a record price for the Lakers, you have to go back much further than today. You have to go back to a team that was not even in Los Angeles. Your modern image of the Lakers probably begins with Hollywood. Purple and gold, championship banners, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, LeBron James. But the Lakers were born somewhere much colder. In 1947, the franchise was based in Minneapolis, and its name made sense there. The team was called the Lakers because Minnesota was known as the land of 10,000 lakes. There was no Los Angeles glamour, no Hollywood machine, no global entertainment empire attached to the team. Just basketball. Then something happened that would completely change the value of the franchise. A young center named George Mikan became one of the first dominant stars of professional basketball. He helped turn the Lakers into a serious attraction. But even success could not solve the team's biggest problem. Attendance was poor, money was tight, and eventually, the franchise was moved. In 1960, the Lakers arrived in Los Angeles. That decision changed much more than the team's address. It placed professional basketball inside one of the world's greatest entertainment markets. Think about what that means. A basketball game was no longer competing only with other basketball games. It was entering a city built around celebrities, television, advertising, music, movies, and spectacle. The Lakers were now sitting inside Hollywood. And eventually, someone understood exactly what that could become. His name was Jerry Buss. In 1979, Buss bought the Lakers as part of a much larger deal. The Lakers themselves were valued at roughly $16 million in that transaction. Today, the team is reportedly being valued at $12.5 billion. That is not just inflation. That is a completely different business. So how did a basketball team multiply its value by hundreds of times? Part of the answer was basketball, but another part was entertainment. Jerry Buss understood that people were not only buying tickets to watch basketball, they were buying an experience. The Lakers became glamorous. Celebrities sat courtside. The Forum became a place where sports and entertainment collided. And then came Magic Johnson. Magic was not simply a basketball player. He became a personality. He became a symbol of Los Angeles. He was smiling. He was charismatic. He played alongside Larry Bird in one of the NBA's most important rivalries. And suddenly, basketball could be sold like entertainment. Researchers studying sports economics have repeatedly found that superstar players can influence attendance, media attention, sponsorships, and the commercial value of a team. That sounds obvious now, but the Lakers were helping build the modern version of that idea in real time. Then another transformation arrived. The 1990s. The Lakers had a new young star. His name was Kobe Bryant. You already know what happened next. Kobe became more than a player. He became an identity. The Lakers won championships. Millions of people around the world began wearing the same jersey. And the Lakers stopped being simply a Los Angeles team. They became a global brand. That distinction matters. Because a normal sports team sells games. A global sports brand sells attention. And attention can be monetized in thousands of ways. Tickets, television, streaming, merchandise, sponsors, licensing, international media, arena events, digital content, and eventually, social media. The more famous the team becomes, the more valuable every one of those pieces can become. Then LeBron James arrived in Los Angeles. By this point, the Lakers had become something almost unusual in sports. The player wanted the Lakers as much as the Lakers wanted the player, because joining the Lakers meant entering a global entertainment machine. That is why the current story is bigger than one billionaire buying a basketball team. Josh Kushner is not buying a random NBA franchise. He is buying one of the most recognizable names in global sports. And he is reportedly doing it alongside Bob Iger, the former chief executive of Disney. That combination is almost strangely perfect. One person comes from venture capital and technology. The other spent decades operating one of the world's largest entertainment companies. And the asset they are targeting sits directly between those worlds: sports, technology, entertainment, celebrity, media, and global attention. The reported price is $12.5 billion. That would make the deal the highest valuation ever for a U.S. professional sports team. And there is an even stranger detail. The Lakers were reportedly valued at around $10 billion when Mark Walters Group acquired controlling interest just last year. Now, only about 14 months later, the reported price is $12.5 billion. That means the headline is not simply that the Lakers are expensive, it is that the value of the Lakers appears to be moving incredibly fast. But why? Because the thing being purchased is not just the players, it is the history, it is the logo, it is the arena, it is the television audience, it is the global fan base, it is decades of emotional attachment. And emotional attachment is one of the most powerful forces in consumer behavior. Researchers studying consumer behavior have found that people often develop emotional relationships with brands that become connected to their identity and social groups. Sports teams take this even further. You do not simply say you purchased a Lakers jersey, you say you are a Lakers fan. That tiny difference is enormous. A product is something you own. An identity is something you carry. And the Lakers have spent decades building an identity that can be recognized almost anywhere in the world. That is what Josh Kushner and Bob Iger are really buying. Not just basketball, memory, attention, identity, and cultural relevance. But there is another reason this moment feels so strange. The Lakers have changed owners before. The franchise moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. It changed hands. Jerry Buss transformed it. The Buss family carried it for decades. Then Mark Walters Group took control. And now, reportedly, Josh Kushner and Bob Iger are preparing to take over. The names change, the players change, the coaches change, the business model changes, but the Lakers name survives. That is the remarkable part. Imagine taking a normal company and removing almost everything inside it. New employees, new managers, new products, new technology, new leadership, and yet the thing people value most remains: the name, the story, the memories. That is what makes sports franchises unusual assets. A championship happened decades ago. The banner still hangs. A legendary player is gone. The highlight clips remain. Every generation adds another layer to the story. And now the next chapter is beginning. The reported agreement still requires the NBA's approval and due diligence before the sale becomes official. But if the deal is completed, the Lakers will enter another era under two owners with backgrounds far outside traditional basketball ownership. And that raises a fascinating question. What does the future of a sports team look like when its value increasingly comes from everything surrounding the sport? Imagine the Lakers not just as a basketball team. Imagine them as a media company, a technology platform, a global entertainment brand, a collection of intellectual property, a live event business, a social media engine, a community, and underneath all of it, still a basketball team. That may be the real story behind the $12.5 billion number. The Lakers did not become one of the world's most valuable sports franchises because basketball suddenly became hundreds of times better. The game lasts a few hours. The relationship can last a lifetime. And that is why a basketball franchise can eventually become worth $12.5 billion. Because the most valuable thing being sold is not a ball, a court, or even a roster. It is the attention of millions of people who already care. And if you look at the Lakers that way, the strangest part of today's headline is no longer the number. It is how long it took to build it. From the land of 10,000 lakes, to Los Angeles, to Magic, to Kobe, to LeBron, to a global entertainment empire, the Lakers became something far bigger than a basketball team. And now, if this record-breaking deal is completed, the next people to write that story will be Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. The Lakers may change owners again, but the brand survives, because in modern sports, the game is only the beginning.